Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Beijing Spring. And this is a new documentary focusing on the spread of artistic freedom and democracy, which was a movement from 1978 to 1982 in China following some very brutal cultural revolution. And this film, over the course of its hour and 40-minute runtime, from directors Andy Cohen and Gaylen focuses on a whole bunch of people who, during this time, were really trying to branch out with their expression, artistic expression, their support of democracy and freedom of speech. And it was very interesting seeing this whole various group of people from all different kinds of perspectives coming to the plate and talking about how they were able to spark some inspiration and ideas during this time. I know some of the big ones that stuck out to me was from like an artistic standpoint with a lot of paintings, especially those that were taking a much more sexual kind of approach to them, had a lot of nudity, and like I feel like that one stuck out so much because it's so far reaching out, because it's very free in terms of its expression, but it's also there's nudity, and being able to do something that's so uncensored during a time where it's just like you have all this tumultuous situations happening with like the death of Chairman Mao and everything else that was going on in China at that time, and being able to really express themselves in that way. It's a very personal film for a lot of the people that they talk to, and it balances that personal touch, that artistic expression and freedom, but also this historical retelling of events that this specific place and time in China from the late 70s into the early 80s. And it balances that like historical documentary and personal artistic expression in such a well-balanced way. And it's informative, it's interesting, it's compelling, and it's able to do all these different things with some well-shot documentary interview footage, with a lot of archival footage, and presented in a very well-structured, chapter-based kind of storytelling. And it's not ambitious in the way that it tells its story, it's not ambitious in the way that it's presented, but it's a really well-made, well-structured documentary that has a lot to say and has a lot of emotional and personal experiences being shared by people who were there and had lived through this. And that helps elevate this film from just being one of those kinds of things where it's like, oh, just watch this on the History Channel, when the History Channel actually had history on it. Or I always like to use A&E because like I've watched A&E documentaries before, and generally they're not like the most dynamic of experiences, but like this film, from the work that Cohen and Ross do in terms of directing it, do elevate this to be an interesting and intriguing watch, and has a lot to say. So you should check this one out when it comes out around you. And this is definitely an intriguing, and as somebody who appreciates so much about art and expression, this really hit close, and it was something that I found a lot of interest in. But those are my thoughts on Beijing Spring. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.